If you create art for product, whether it's surface pattern designs or illustrations, you are in the right place. I have been designing art for product through surface pattern and illustration and hand lettering for over 20 years. And I love to interview other professionals and give you information about the industry that you might not be aware of. If you've been creating art for product for a while, or you've done some research, or you've seen some of my other videos, you know that one of the best ways to get paid client work, whether it's art licensing, freelance work, selling your art directly, is to send pitch emails or pitch mailers directly to the clients that you want to work with. Today, I'm going to answer one of the most common questions that I get when I talk about directly pitching your work, which is what time of year is best to send out various seasonal designs? So, you've just created an amazing Halloween collection. Should you be sending it in January, February, March, April, May? When is the best time to send holiday themed seasonal work? That's what we're going to get into today. First of all, if you are brand new to designing art for products and working with larger companies that can manufacture those goods, I want to break it down a little bit. Companies need time to decide on the artwork that they want to use in their next product line, to get any type of approvals up the chain. If it's a bigger business, they may need to get approvals from buyers, from other departments. It's not necessarily just the art director making that choice. Besides getting approval on artwork, sometimes they need to get approval from the retailer that they plan to sell this artwork through. So it may be a company that sells artwork through another company, a retailer like Michael's or TJ Maxx or Walmart or Target. So not only do they need to get approval for the art within their company, then they need to get Michael's or Target or Walmart on board and say, yes, we're going to feature that in our line. So getting all those approvals takes time. Then, if the retailer or the company or whoever does approve the art, they often want to see samples first. So, for example, if you created artwork for bedding, they want to see what that artwork is going to look like on bedding. Is there going to be areas where there's embroidery or applique? Is there going to be certain types of fabrics used? Are the colors going to come out okay? So they send the artwork to their mills to get printed or manufactured, and then they have to review and approve the samples. Once all that happens, then they need to put the artwork into production. So making more than one or two samples, but making whatever 500, 5,000, 50,000 of that particular item to distribute to their retailers. And they need to make packaging and any other things that happen down the road to get things into stores. Then, of course, they have to ship it to the stores. So as you're starting to understand, there is a long process between having art that looks great and having a product with that art on it in stores. For that reason, most companies tend to work at least 1 year in advance. But I want you to know that this varies really significantly between companies. Some smaller companies might work on a tighter timeline. Some larger companies might work on a longer timeline. Some companies that make products that are really easy to create and are pretty standard, for example, something like a greeting card that might just be a printed greeting card. Printing paper doesn't take as long as putting together a whole bedding set with embroidery. Something like that may be a shorter timeline, and then something really difficult that requires a lot of manufacturing adjustments may take longer. So something like a decorative figurine or a stuffed animal or something may take a little bit longer. I want to give you an example from my current work schedule. So I am filming this video in mid-November. All right, we're getting closer to Christmas. I want to tell you about the various client projects I am working on right now. I'm currently working on fall acrylic stamp designs, which are about 9 months in advance of when they'll be sold. I'm working on Halloween card designs, which are about 10 months in advance of when they'll be in stores. I just signed a license for Christmas wrapping paper, which is going to be about 12 months in advance of when they will be in stores. I have been doing some trend work for a different client that is for early spring home decor, and that is about 15 months in advance where we are today. And finally, I am designing some bedding for a client that is for spring 16 months in advance. So everywhere from 9 to 16 months is how far out I'm currently designing for 5 different clients. And of course, that is just a very small sample based on my own experiences. So, to answer the original question of when is the best time to send out certain seasonal artwork, there honestly is no right time. So, what can you do with that information? Here is what I recommend. I personally like to design about a year in advance. And it's not really a year in advance, honestly. I'm not thinking about what is going to be happening in 1 year for Halloween or for Easter or for Valentine's Day or for spring or for fall. It's spring and I feel like designing spring designs. It's fall and I'm feeling cozy and I want to do a pumpkin spice collection. So that's really how I personally design. You should design however you feel the most comfortable. But I like to send my artwork to new potential clients in a seasonally appropriate way. So basically, 1 year in advance, I will send fall art in the fall. I will send holiday art around Christmas time, spring art in the spring. And then what you should do, what I do, is ask a new potential client if they have a production schedule that they can share with you. This is a great way to get a conversation started in your pitch emails. You can send along fall art if you're sending it out around the time that it's fall, and you can say, "This is what I'm thinking of. I'm feeling very cozy. I just came up with this new collection that reflects that." But I'm curious what you guys are working on right now. Have you already started spring 2026 or whatever the following season is? You can ask that question, and then they have the opportunity to say, "Yeah, we've already done fall for the year, so we are moving on to spring. Do you have any Easter eggs?" or whatever it is, right? So give them the opportunity to tell you and let them know that you understand that everyone works on a different calendar. There is no one set perfect time to submit. Various companies have various timelines with which they work, and they can shift throughout. When the pandemic was happening, there was a lot of delays and things started taking longer. So therefore, people tried to get their art done earlier and earlier. I noticed that with some of my clients. So you just never know. Best to ask. So I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments if that clears things up or if you have further questions. Definitely subscribe if this is the kind of information you need and want. And if you need a little help with those pitch emails that I'm talking about, if you are not sure how to format your artwork or what you should even say, now that you know what type of artwork you can send, I have just the product for you. It is called the Show Your Work Pitch Kit. It is super affordable. It is going to give you some email templates as well as a rundown of how best to write your own email if you prefer, a checklist of things to look for in your emails, templates for your artwork, and some pep talks to make sure that you get that pitch out into the world. So check out the link in this description to check out that pitch kit. Wishing you the best of luck as you get your work in front of potential clients.